What are some of the symptoms of that struggle that you're noticing right now? You had mentioned people just aren't using the same language. What else is going on?
So some of what I'm seeing just in our own organization as we look around is, you know, there are days or weeks it's a struggle to accomplish some things as a team that we used to accomplish very easily together. And so that was, I think as I'm listening to you speak, I'm realizing, when you're a startup and you're growing your business, this is all really great, smart stuff. But it's really the pain seems to be amplified when just a couple short years ago, we were that company that could smoothly fire on all, eight cylinders. And now we seem to be misfiring on, four or six cylinders, right? So I think the first thing is you can tell when people aren't aligned and in sync. And so I'm seeing some of that. I think for us, where we've got multiple locations, when you see different offices doing things differently, um, whether it's calling in and on a production meeting, or it's a product a project launch meeting, or just going in a visit, and you realize you're not using the same project management template or tools we are. You're not reading your calendar entries aren't the same critical pieces of information. So I'm noticing that procedurally, some differences. Now, some of that may be driven by what I would call market specific variables. There's some things in Las Vegas that are much different than our facility in Orlando. So, it's okay in those instances. But I think, what I'm also saying is a lot of this, Khalil, is it's some of our employees being at different stages of recovery. Some have shaken off the rust of pandemic and that slower pace of play. Others have adopted. And then also we've got new people, that some from the industry that know, the business we're in, but they don't know our way of doing it. And if I'm honest, I think there's people at our own company that don't know our own way of doing it. So anyway, you put all that together, and it's, yeah, it can be frustrating. I think my opinion, we're not communicating well, or as well as we should be internally. I think, and you'll recognize this, I think a lot of listeners will. It's really easy to be distracted by busyness, by being busy. And, I always get a caution, measuring by activity, not by results.
Mhm.
And so it's not enough to be busy. We got to figure out how to work smarter to make sure we're being productive. Um, I invented a new word. So we're allowing well-intentioned, I'm going to call it duty creep. Um, Sounds like a dog training term, right? But that mission, that commitment to your job, and the duties responsible to that, and we're all hybrid players these days, right? So we're reaching into the gray zone left and right, but I think we're allowing that duty creep to knock us off balance, um, which can make our day-to-day jobs harder. And I'll give you an example. Um, Great senior project manager in one of my offices who covered a lot of the ground in production when we were first half of 2021 and into 2022, was actively involved in handpicking labor teams for clients for the field operation stuff. Um, but I've hired 9 people to come back, new people, and take on a lot of those responsibilities. And, I'm seeing a person who hasn't completely let go, or continues to, in a well-intentioned way, insert themselves, which basically confuses the people the new boss is giving direction to, as well as that old boss, the person that was just the do-it-all person. So there's one example, and I think everybody can relate to that. The well-intentioned, but we're stepping on each other, right? So we got to move from that, what I call it, survival mode, to just now the volume demands, and we have the staff to be much more of an efficient operation organization. And that's where we're trying to be right now.